Hello, it's almost 4 o'clock. I mean, it's like a couple of seconds before 4 o'clock p.m. Central. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now. I'm a little on the tired side, but that's not gonna stop me from doing what needs to be done and spoken about today. It's not gonna stop me, y'all. It's not. So let me do what we gotta do, which is play a little intro music. Yes, let's do that. Good afternoon. Yeah. You know, sometimes when you get really tired, you start singing and stuff because like that's just where you are and you're just trying to keep yourself together to get the rest of the day. The day is not over for me, not yet, but let me forget. I should introduce myself, although the name is there. So hello, welcome to Girl. Listen, I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. Hello. Oh, y'all. Okay, so looks like Facebook is still Facebooking. And we're not streaming there live. So, okay, we'll fix that. But we are live on LinkedIn and we are live on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I welcome you to like, share, and subscribe. You know, maybe I can have an album because the sky is not the limit, right? It's not the limit. And I feel like I can do just about anything. It could be what I'm drinking. It could be that. Who knows? But let me shout out. Let me shout out my guests, my community. Hey, Serena is here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Serena was sharing some comments she received from the show. And, you know, I received phone calls. I just want to thank Serena again for sharing her genius with our community over here on Small Biz Bites. That's the other show. But thank you for sharing your genius. There were so many conversations that even my mama talked about it. So, you know, when mama starts talking about something, you know you didn't touch something. So it was so great to hear your story and for you to share your genius. So thank you for doing that for us. And my kinfolk is here. Peggy MacArthur of Time Benders, ma'am. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. And I just want to say this as I share comments from Serena. You know, people do what they do because they want to do it. All right. I'm setting the scene. I'm setting the scene for what we're going to talk about today, right? Because all of this really does go back to the conversation that we're going to have today. And I have to thank one of my previous guests, Rex, when he was here. We were having a talk about photography and just having conversations and a whole host of other things. And he made a comment that stuck with me. And I keep going back to this as I navigate through my daily life waters, right? I keep going back to this. So, but first, because you know me, I love celebrating people and shouting them out. And I don't know, it's what I enjoy doing. So I have a new glass. Now, my husband doesn't know about this yet. So just now it's staying because it's here now. But I have this new glass and it's from Last Mile Cafe. Ooh, there we go. It says people focus coffee from start to finish. Okay, so it was sort of designed for iced coffee or any other beverage. I'm not really a coffee drinker, but a few years ago, Last Mile Cafe had a crowdfunding, project or program, crowdfunding campaign to create this community coffee shop in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I was like, you know what? I don't drink coffee, but I can get behind community and giving people a place, right, to come together. And 10% of every purchase does go back to a nonprofit of your choice. So even better. So I want to shout them out really quick. I have, of course, they handwrite notes. I love handwritten notes. If you are a small business owner, let me tell you right now, nothing really sets the tone for your customers than a handwritten note. I don't think people understand that it's not some pre-pressed something, which I admit I have used. But when you take the time to write a note to your customer, thanking them for shopping with you, for choosing your product, for giving them your money, man, it really does go a very long way. Do not sleep on personal notes. So there's another person I want to shout out while I'm here, because Gwendolyn loves books. And I have this new journal. It's an Intentions and Reflections. It's a daily journal. And I got this from Hello Healing, from Lisa Seeley. And she too had a personal note. And Hello Healing, they have some amazing things as well. So just want to shout them out because, you know, we're out here, we're all doing something. And I was talking to the work husband about being on YouTube, right? Being on YouTube and showing up every day, because I'm a soapbox kid. Like, it's how the good Lord made me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my gift out there for somebody. There's a yin to this yang somewhere. So he was like, you know, when people show up for you, even if it's for a second, a minute, in the replay, shout out to all you going to watch in the replay, it doesn't go unappreciated. So let that be known. So for those of you who come here and give me your ear for 20 or so minutes, trust me, I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, it's a beautiful glass. It's like a beer can, soda can kind of thing. It's nice. And I've got some sort of lemonade / tequila concoction happening over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that out because it is Friday. Hey, shout out to Amparo. Hello, ma'am. Hello to you. And we have Tanya Fisher in the building. Happy Friday to you, ma'am. So I want to get into my topic today. And it's so funny how the world works, because again, you know, I'm out here doing my YouTube thing, and I will tell you this really quick. I was bullied as a kid, so as an adult, I understand that this Virgo is very meticulous and observant, and I can be a little verbally abusive if I go down that path. I understand who I am. So I stay on mute, because I know that when you throw something out there, you cannot unring the bell. I get it. So when people leave comments on my YouTube channel and they come for me, trust me, I am dragging ass. Okay? I'm not going to even lie about it. Don't come for me if I didn't call for you. But when you do other comments that maybe focus on my guests, or if I'm in another space and you come from my community, I am territorial. I am that chick, right? Like, I am that chick. So it just so happens that today's topic is about agreement. And I want to play this clip from our dear, beautiful friend Rex, because it stuck with me and it's how I got to this space today.
I do want to go back to something that you said. Like, you said that you don't want to force people to agree. I think that's such a good point, because if more people would understand that agreement is simply not necessary, like, it's so unnecessary. Your agreement was never a requirement. Like, this is, even if this is just for informational purposes, if that's all you can take from this is I'm sharing this information with you, I'm identifying my particular position for you about whatever the topic is at hand, then that's enough. I agree. Your agreement was not on the prerequisites. It just wasn't.
Do you think, and I just realized what time it is, do you think that we have this sort of, and I'm going to go back to this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed approach to communication and conversation, that we have this, we should all be locked in arms and happy-go-lucky when we have a conversation, i.e. we should all agree. Is like, but ideally, no, you don't, that's not really, not necessary.
If we're all coming from a place of mutual respect, agreement is never necessary.
I love that. That should be on a t-shirt. It really should be on a t-shirt. It should be on a t-shirt. So let me get into our topic of the day. As as I'm looking at Tanya's comments, I'm gonna tell you right now. Um, my friend Joe will tell you, and I've mentioned this before, that when we would go out when we were young and in the streets, she would say, "Gwendolyn, can we not go in here and like start a fight? If they don't touch me, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Like that's just how it is. Like you stay in your spot, I stay in my spot. We could all get home without any issues, right? If you don't, then we may have some problems." Now I know people are like, "That's Gwendolyn. It is Gwendolyn." Yeah. I will fight for certain things. My community is one, my family, my kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know, right? Don't do it. So I just want to make sure that is clear. Gwendolyn is a fighter. Don't take this soft persona. Don't get it twisted. Don't. And shout out to my friend Spencer Bryan is in the building. So that brings us to our conversation because I want to talk about this. Something shifted, right? Like agreement is not necessary, but something has shifted that people have this, I'm going to almost say like an obsession that we should all agree on some things. So I got a couple of things here. First of all, I remember growing up where we had a conversation, and if it didn't work out, it ended with agree to disagree. And we moved forward. We kept like life was good and we just kept going. We didn't have to make sure we're on the same page. It was just, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to agree to disagree. And we just left it alone. Like it was done. But lately, last couple of years, there is this, I don't know, this need that we just have to be on the same page. Keep in mind, our life experiences, you know, these are not monolithic. You know, when they talk about so-and-so is the representative for the Black voice. Well, that's just not true. All Black folks ain't the same. Like y'all know that, right? The same way that you can't take this person to represent all white people or all Hispanics. Like it's just not true. But why must we believe that we all have to be on the same boat? So I got a couple examples here because I have to. I'm gonna go with my very favorite, Dallas versus Houston. Don't nobody care about Dallas, and I know I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I get that, and I know there are people probably watching who reside in the area. Houston will always be the better city, always in Texas. Check it. Just like with football. Now they can talk about their Super Bowl rings. They ain't been to bowls since like the 90s. Okay, 90s, I was gonna say it's like 90s. They haven't gotten a ring since I don't know when, right? And this last showing in the playoffs, yeah, okay. Now the Texans, we got something to talk about because we on the come up, right? We're still a young team, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm also a Texans fan. I'm gonna go ahead and call that out because of course we will ride for Houston. Like, hello. And then there's my favorite, the good old Apple versus Android versus Samsung. And I split out Android and Samsung because there are people who are Samsung fans who are not necessarily Android fans. Those are two different experiences. Now, I'm going to stay here for a little bit because when people talk about Apple, and God bless them, I believe they've done a great job in creating an ecosystem that folks are really attached to. As Sonia says, Apple. Okay. Now, I mean, I get it. They've done a great job with their marketing. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, people line up for a phone that may have, I don't know, some new way of texting. I don't know. I've never owned an Apple device. It never spoke to me. So I never went down that rabbit hole. I went from my Palm Treo. Okay, let me go back. I'm gonna date it. I had a day planner. Okay. I had a day planner. And then I moved to Filofax because, you know, the Italian leather. I did that. I did Franklin Covey for a hot second, but it was just a tad bit too much. And then I got my Palm Treo. I did have there was a Sharp Smart device kind of thing that kind of folded. I forgot what it was called, but it, what can I tell you? And then from the Treo, I got my BlackBerry. And then from there, my Samsung. So that's how I worked. Okay. But when you talk to people about Apple versus Android, these folks go hard in the paint. And I don't even know. I doubt very many of them have any stock, have any real interest in the company beyond the tools they're using. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. Change my mind. I'm ready for you. Here's the deal. I don't care what y'all use. In my head, when it comes to software, it's a computer. It's a computer, damn it. You turn it on, you put stuff in, it spits stuff out. That's how I roll, right? I do understand in regards to ease of use, Apple is more plug and play, right? So, forgive me, Tanya. If you are more, I can't get the words out because, if you want to keep things easy and straight and narrow, then Apple may be more for you. But if you want to ride the dark side and get into some things, then I'm thinking Android, Samsung is the way to go because we get into some things over here. Like, we're doing some different shit, okay? Just gonna say it. So, but that's that one. People will go hard for that one. They love it. Here's another one that I see men commenting on, and no offense, I don't think a man has any play in this, but wigs and weaves versus natural hair. I have seen many of men, and we'll just park it here for a second. Many of men have made comments about a woman's body, a woman's dress, a woman's like her hair, all the things, and it ain't got shit to do with them. Nothing to do with them. If a woman wants to wear a wig, that's her choice. It's her prerogative, right? Like it's her want. If she wants to wear her hair natural, that's her choice. That's her want. It's nothing to do with you. But I find it odd that men want to comment on what a woman is doing. Now, we already know how our society is set up. Patriarchy is not a false thing. We know that. We know that men believe that, okay, take it back. Not all men, some believe that women are just possessions and they are there to enhance their presence, all this other BS, like whatever. So when a guy comments on a woman's hair, which is her crown, I have to wonder, why does that matter to you? What does any of that have to do with you? How she chooses to dress. Why does that matter to you? If you're not her mate, and even then, now, I love my husband. Y'all know I love my husband. I love him dearly. Lord bless him to deal with all of this. But there was a couple of times where he has mentioned something. I'm like, bruh, you don't really get a say in this. You really don't. I understand the idea of being respectful of your spouse, what have you, right? But you also knew who you married, or maybe you were aware of, because I've never changed my dress. We have not become more conservative or whatever. There is one particular piece of clothing I will not wear because he's asked me not to. He finds it extremely vulgar. I'm like, fine, whatever. Let's just say my shirt says 0 fudge to give, right? And it's not how my husband likes to roll, and that's okay. So that one I will not wear because he's like, Gwendolyn, you know exactly who you married, sir. But I just find it curious when men get to a place of commenting on what a woman does, as if they have some say in it. It's like, well, I like women who has so-and-so. Ain't nobody ask you what you like, and don't nobody care. Nobody cares. Tanya says, hey, I have both. That's all it is, the plug and play, not the dark side. I think it's cool to have both. My husband has both, right? He has an Apple tablet and all of his phones since we got married, because I did convert him, okay? The Samsung. The moment he put the ring on his finger, I was like, sir, we have to have a conversation. And in this household, This is how we roll. I'm gonna have you have to let that go over there. And he's like, this is amazing. So I'm just telling you, Tanya, I'm just telling you. Kimmy. Good afternoon, ma'am. She says, seen a few videos about men and wigs, really? Like men wearing wigs? Because they can too. I mean, if you look at the Founding Fathers, they had wigs on. Right? We've been doing drag for a very long time, people, a very long time. Don't get it twisted. But let me go to this. When people focus on what they don't like, it just drains you of your energy, right? It drains you of your joy. I just don't understand how people spend so much time focused on what they don't like. And then in regards to YouTube specifically, oh, really? Men wearing wigs? Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen a couple of those videos where guys are getting like the hair put on and glued down and cut up like you didn't know. Hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm here for whatever makes you happy, have at it. And you can't tell with some of these people if they've got like the new age man plug or not. You can't tell. But people are doing what they want to do for themselves. Shout out to Black Eighth Element. Hello, sir. How's it going? Good to have you here as we get into some foolishness, because you know how I do. Peggy also says, I too don't participate in that conversation. Hair is not my topic. It's like, look, whatever you want to do you. So I'm going to share this really quick, because there was a person who made a comment on my channel recently. And it was ignorant. And I will say this again. If it's ignorant and it's not disruptive, I let it stay. It can even be about me. You can check the feed. Come if you want to. Get your feelings hurt. But this one, it was beyond. So we had to remove it. And then I asked myself, what's the point? Like, YouTube has how many users? 4-5 million users? I don't know. And how many videos? 20-something million videos. And so when you are scrolling through, you don't have to stop and tell somebody who could care less that you don't like what they talked about. Don't nobody care. Everybody got an opinion. Just like some other things. Everybody got one. Don't nobody care. Why spend so much energy on what you don't like? I don't like broccoli, and I don't like Beyonce's country album, so don't nobody care. Don't buy it. You ain't got to buy it. You ain't got to listen to it. You ain't got to do nothing unless you choose. So when you stop on somebody's YouTube channel to make a comment about nothing, I just want to know, why? What do you get out of it? Because here's how I see it. When people do stupid stuff, it comes from in my opinion, depending on word choice, a place of insecurity and juvenile behavior. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have it. Whatever you want to do, let's get to it so we can get through it. But if you want some tension, it's my grandmama, some tension. Not attention, but some tension. If you want some tension, we can give it to you. But for what, 5 minutes maybe? Other than that, move on. What is it? And I have to wonder, I part of me believes that these people, these keyboard warriors who won't put up a real face, who do stuff anonymously, miserable, insecure people, insecure people. Seriously. Because I get up every day and I am focused on what brings me joy. I got great counterparts in my community, right? I got beautiful grandbabies. I just got a photo just minutes ago. He is the cutest 1 month old photo. So cute. Ain't nobody got time to be worried about what we don't like. For what? What does that bring to you? Is the idea that if I can make you miserable, we can all be miserable? Miss me with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't no time for that. Kimmy says times may be changing and they won't be able to complain about the ladies. You know what? You're right about that. If you're going bald, then go bald. Now, some men, I guess, don't look great bald. I just happen to have a head that is fairly decent to be almost bald. It's a couple of bumps and lumps back here, but for the most part, it's working for me. So I'm rocking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sticking with it. GNC Sports Talk says, good afternoon, evening. I'm a tad late. Never too late. Never too late. We're here to enjoy ourselves and just, talk about some of the ridiculous stuff. Cause this is one of them. This deal of beating someone over the head to agree with you. It just isn't necessary. That and taking the time to give everybody your opinion. I really believe it's got to be a lack of attention. It's got to be that, because other than that, I don't get it. But there is this obsession with everyone should agree. So let's talk real quick about our current political environment. Okay. Everybody would never agree on who should be XYZ. We know that. That's why there's a majority vote. Think of it like if you were ordering pizza, right? We got cheese, pepperoni and cheese, and somebody wants Hawaiian. You're like, okay, great. But we can only buy 2 pieces. Now, the 3 people who voted for Hawaiian probably not going to get it when 10 voted for cheese, because you can't go wrong there, and other 15 voted for pepperoni and cheese. So you're not going to get Hawaiian this time around. Maybe you'll get it next time. I don't know. Maybe you should do a little lobbying and say, hey, get the Hawaiian so we can get next. I don't know. But we don't always agree on all the things. My husband and I, we don't always agree on everything. And it typically deals with women issues. I'm not going to lie to you. And not that he's against what I'm believing in, but he sees a different perspective. He's a guy. I come from, do you understand what we did with every single day? The foolishness, these misogynistic comments, he's like, well, I hadn't thought about that. But we just have a civil discourse. Sometimes I learn from him because he's so level-headed. God bless him. He's so much better than me. I don't understand. He is so much better than me. Serena's like, wait a minute, wigs? Yes, wigs. But when you can have this conversation, a civil conversation, you may be surprised what you learn. So can we talk about that really quick? Returning to civil discourse. You don't have to agree with me. I say it all the time. I don't mind comments on my YouTube videos. I do not bring them. If you have a different perspective, I really want to hear it, because you only get to learn more about someone else, another side, another argument through civil discourse. But the moment you take to juvenile name calling, commenting on someone's physical appearance, all this ignorant 5th grade, 4th grade stuff, we are done. Because that's ignorant. You either present your case, articulate your points as an adult, or shut the fuck up. It's one of those two. That's it. Because there ain't much to talk about. Like, that's it. Either say what you got to say, or just keep it moving. Because again, the idea is to not put yourself in someone else's shoes, but think about it from the other person's perspective. Now, there are times where I'm just not going to see it. And I'm going to say this. People who have hate in their heart, they have every right to have hate in their heart. That's their choice. That's their choice. And birds of a feather do flock together. Okay? That doesn't mean that you can come here with your hate. That does not mean that. No. I'm not going to squash it. I'm just going to tell you, hey, it's not welcomed here. So keep it moving. Go make your own spot and do all of that. That's fine. There are women who don't believe that women should be paid in the same amount as men. They don't believe it. Okay. And that's fine. I don't agree with it. Tell me why you don't believe we deserve to get paid the same amount when we're doing the same job. And they will share their deals. I'm like, oh, well, no. Okay, well, you know what? Agree to disagree. And that's it. We can go about our business. That is it. But we have gotten to a place of, I don't know. Is it all or nothing? You're either for me or against me. It is very Sith Lord. Okay? For all you Star Wars fans, only the Sith speak in absolutes. Okay, just gonna say it. So that's just, so we are clearly not we're not on the Sith Lord side. Clearly not. Kimmy says, Serena, some videos I saw were for people who have health issues. Oh, but for some men who want to look better. It always goes both ways, right? Always goes both ways. Gary says civil conversation leads to learning. Thank you. And can we just add to that you need to listen to hear, not listen to respond? People forget that part. Like, we're talking, but you're so ready to put like your next point out. It's like, stop. Can you just, did you hear anything I just said? I just agreed with you and you're still upset, right? Listen to hear. Can we do that for just like hot second? Black Eighth Element says it's too easy to be ignorant. Oh man. Oh bruh. It takes work to learn and grow. Woo! Isn't it easy? It's easy because it requires nothing. It requires nothing to act as if everything outside your window is not happening. It's like, no, I just don't know what that's about. I don't know. Right? We could be so much further along if we just got back to civil discourse. And I would say this, I do not believe that we are as divided as the media currently says we are. This is my belief. I believe we have far more interests in common than we do that are different. Now, if I may be ever so, I'm not going to say bold. I'm going to go a little extra. I do know, after reading some documents, there may be a set of people who would like to see this black chick back in the cotton fields. I understand that. I understand it. Right? So clearly we don't agree, right? We already know with the rules that they're pulling back from 18 whatever, that they don't really see much value in women. So, hey, right? No, I don't agree with that at all. Right? And I haven't heard a good argument as to why we should go back to that, but yeah. I say this again. There is a place for us to sit down and talk about it. And I bring up this example of a dear friend in Alabama who we are not on the same page politically. We are not. But we did a little experiment on Facebook and we were sharing the values that we had in common, right? Now I'm in Texas, married to an ex-military person. So there are guns in this house. Okay, let's go ahead and put that out there. But we also believe in family and community, being paid fair for our labor, just, having a safe home. Like, we had all these things in common. The only thing that we were not on the same page was the guy he is backing does not see my family when he talks about family. Okay, that was it. Now, some of his friends jumped in. Oh, you're a Democrat. You da-da-da-da-da. He's like, hey, we're not doing that. He said, this is my friend. We were having a civil conversation here. If you can't do that, get out. And that's what we need. We need people to say, hey, I get that you feel some kind of way. Come here as a respectful adult. Say what you got to say. And let's talk about it. But we had far more in common than we did different beyond the person he's backing and the person that I'm going to back. That's it. People want safe homes. They want good jobs. They want good schools for their kids, right? They want to be paid fairly for whatever they are giving back into the world. People want safety. We want simple things. Everybody wants that. Now, again, you putting me out in the cotton field or some other person in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, I don't know about that. I don't know. Peggy says it's a touche situation. Touchy. Pardon me. Is that the tequila talking? Oh, it's a touchy situation because there's a time and a place to listen, and there's a time and a place to agree to disagree. There's also a time and a place to say absolutely not. I agree with you, Peggy. You are right. You are right. It is. There's an art to having a conversation. There really is. There's an art to it. And we don't even talk like we used to. So there are a number of people who may fail to learn that art of communication. Just saying. I mean, but you're right. It is touchy. Serena also shares that there's a blessing for those with health conditions. I saw a couple of videos of companies who make wigs for kids that have health conditions. Yes. I said this before because I know when I cut my hair off, people thought that I had cancer. And I was like, no, this is a conscious decision. But, you know, hair for a lot of people, especially women, hair is attached to being feminine. It's a crown. It is a shield, right? And when you start attacking that, i.e. cancer or any other health condition, you can go to a place of feeling less than. So I understand how hair impacts a lot of people of all genders. We understand that. That we do. We do. So I want to say this as I wrap this up because, you know, I really wanted to just, if I may say to all of you, I'm going to give you all the job of as you move forward and you're having conversations with your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, whatever. And if you're not agreeing, perhaps be that person who says, hey, can I just talk to you about civil discourse or the fact that this is this and that is that. And I know some people that they don't want to hear it. I get it. All I know is we all can do our part in changing how we talk to one another and making a change in this environment. It doesn't have to be the way it is. We have so much more in common, right? Like I love Star Wars and Star Trek and hip hop and dance hall, especially the 90s. And I like iced coffee from time to time and champagne and good photos and good laughter and good food and good people. That we have so much more in common. We really do. And the good Lord woke us up this morning. We should be celebrating that every day versus trying to figure out how to keep us apart. Lord bless. So as I wrap it up, because I need to wrap this up, I got to get ready for what else is going on. It starts with respect. You know what, Black Element, don't come in here preaching now. Don't come in here preaching. I don't have the time for that today. I don't have the time. Now, if you want to come on show one of these days and bless us, I am all for it, sir. I am all for it. You can definitely come on the show and bless us. Perhaps talk about how you create the way that you create. I am welcoming you. I am extending the invitation. I'm going to go ahead and do that to you. But yes, it does start with respect, right? If we just start there, what did Rex say? Mutual respect. That's all we need. That's it. It's so easy. It's so easy. So 2 things I want to do. One, I want to invite you all to subscribe to Indie Soup Media TV on YouTube. It's Friday night. And I'm going to tell you right now, Friday night is where it's going down. Yes, Friday night is going down. We have a great lineup over there. Amazing content, amazing shows being hosted. I myself will be on at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. So I'll be over there in the chats, chatting it up. Love to do that. And lastly, if you haven't already, you should get on the email list somewhere here. There it is, the GRH Jack email list. Because, you know, despite the fact that I may throw out what people see as a vulgar word here and there, I am actually quite the person. I am calm. I am nurturing. I'm an amazing sponsor. I am a great cheerleader. I am here for you. All I know is that people don't like some of the words I say and like whatever, but there are worse words, far worse words. And okay, not here. Hey, thank you, Kimmy, for showing up. Also, Black 8th Element, Peggy from Time Benders, my partner. We had Amparo, Gary, C&G Sports Talk. Hey, go check them out Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. They are doing it. Tanya's here. I got everybody. They got it. Spencer's here. Serena. All the people. Thank you for giving me your ear. And if you're available, hit you on over to Indie Soup Media, where it's going to be going down. And I'm going to play some outro music. What? Created by Black 8th Element. I'm going to see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching another episode of Girl, Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.